Sculptor Alexis Ellis has had a fascination with the imagery of rodents from a young age. After studying traditional ceramics at USF and in Japan, she spent years creating functional fine art for daily use from her home in Citrus County. But then she was drawn back to her early inspiration, rats.
Well, hello. I've got 3 hairless rats and 4 fuzzbutts. They make wonderful little pets. Both of those have their own elements that are very helpful to look at as a sculptor. I've been drawing these goofy little mouse cartoons for pretty much as long as I can remember, and I don't have a single paper from childhood that doesn't have a little mouse or rat sketched on it. And so I took that, and my first one that I made, I actually threw the components on the wheel because I wasn't quite sure how to start the sculpting process. And so I just started experimenting more. I went from doing the wheel-thrown components to doing hand-built ones, and then I started doing little chubby fat rolls. So I had a pet rat at the time. I started looking at the anatomy and the structure, thinking, okay, I can do this, I can copy this. So that turned into creating all of these really playful, whimsical little figurines of rats. And I can tie them into my regular pottery by having them interact with them. So little rats climbing onto bowls, little rats sitting in bowls. And surprise, surprise, people really liked them.
I really enjoyed speaking with Alexis Ellis today. I did not realize that we had an artist of her caliber right here in Inverness and in Citrus County where we live. But the creativity that she has, particularly with her little rat sculptures, is amazing.
The Inverness Festival of the Arts has been going on for over 50 years. We do get artists from all over the United States, but we have a great representation from Florida, from Central Florida, and quite a few artists from Inverness. Last year, Alexis won the Judges Award, and we were really excited to have her win an award in this show because she's a Citrus County native. She went to the local arts magnet school, and she's also a teacher in Citrus County. And she provides a little bit different of work than you normally see in a show. She has some beautiful traditional pottery, Japanese pottery, but she also sculpts rats, and people love it. It's really great to have her here.
To get them to move and to have flow and movement and showing personality and the character of the piece, she's mastered it, and she's just phenomenal at that. And I said, Alexis, you have found your niche. So I hope she continues in that path.
One of the great things about arts festivals is you do have the opportunity to speak directly with the artist, and you get a chance to learn about their passion, what it means to them. And then the best part of it is we often get to take a piece of it home.
I grew up around art. My mom's an artist. My dad is an archaeologist. He would be cleaning artifacts at home, and he would have examples of prehistoric pottery. It was just amazing to be able to pick up something that was formed by human hands, 1,000-year-old thumbprint in a piece of clay. And there's something just so eternal about that. Something that lasts way after the artist is gone. I went to University of South Florida. I took that first pottery class, beginner ceramics. One of the first things we did in there was we watched a video of Hamada Shoji while he was working at the wheel. And something about that, the way that the clay just moved and transformed under his hands, and just the elegance of the movement and the functionality of the pieces once complete. I'm sitting there going, okay, that's it. That's what I want to do. Rest of my life, right there. That is exactly it. So after I graduated, I was able to move to Japan. I was there for about 2 years, and I was in the town of Mashiko, which is Hamada Shoji's hometown. It's like the center of the folk craft revival movement that took place in the 60s and 70s. So the whole town had several historic kilns that had been in operation for hundreds of years. And so that was really where I got a lot of my style and technique from. It's very relaxing, it's very meditative. It's just sort of you and the clay working together to make something neat. I love the idea of making something that could be useful to someone. Something simple, something elegant, something that's workable, something that you can incorporate into your daily life. What I like to do most is atmospheric glazings. I really like when the control is taken out of my hands, where the atmosphere inside the kiln is what gives it its surface texture and its color. So at those kind of temperatures that those things get to, the wood that is being fed into the kiln, it gets so hot that the ash kind of vaporizes, and wherever it hits on the pottery is where it sticks. So each piece then tells the exact story of where that was sitting in the kiln and what happened during the firing. And so it's really neat to get all those cool organic textures and colors. Sometimes it's very hard to part with them because I spend so much time holding it in my hand, getting used to the feel of it, so much work that has gone into each individual piece that it is very easy to get attached. But at the same time, when someone else picks it up and they have that same reaction, seeing somebody else fall in love with it is just amazing. And that's a very satisfying thing.
See more of Alexis's work on Instagram @EllisThePotter.